Hey guys, this is David Estringel, and I'm here this evening with my dogs because I received my copies of Brujeria, my new chapbook through Alien Buddha Press, which is going to be released on May 26th. So I'm extremely excited about the release of this chap because it is my first publication with Alien Buddha since they published my initial poetry collection, Indelible Fingerprints, back in 2019. It was also a hybrid collection with poetry and short stories, as is Brujeria. So the other reason why I'm actually very excited about this is because I've wanted to have Brujeria published for quite a while, because it is extremely reflective of both the culture and the spiritual practices that I grew up around as a child and also as a young adult. Um, Ranging from Mexican witchcraft or brujeria to Santeria to spiritualism, and maybe a few things kind of thrown in between, all of which had a pretty significant impact on who I am today, but also as a writer. Um, Oftentimes, the stuff that I do write will sort of veer off into the metaphysical or the spiritual or the speculative. And I owe that a great deal to the experiences I've had growing up, some of which would probably turn your shit white. But even though Brujeria is, a hybrid chapbook with poetry and some short fiction, there is a thread of truth that kind of is woven throughout the pages, that are sort of reflective of some of the experiences that I've had and some of the beliefs that I hold. So I'm kind of excited for folks to be able to kind of get a glimpse at, what it's kind of like. So, as before I kind of dive into, reading the poem that I'm going to read to you from the collection, I wanted to go ahead and read the back cover to you that Red put together. And he did an exceptional job because I think he captured the spirit of Brujeria really, really well, but also managed to sort of like imbue my own history a bit, into his words. So, in the second book with Alien Buddha Press, following 2019's Indelible Fingerprints, David Estringel returns with Brujeria, a bold hybrid of poetry and short stories steeped in ancestral magic and real-world ache. This collection explores the sacred and profane, blending personal experience with spiritual tradition through the rhythmic, often code-switched language of Santeria, the religious practice Estringel grew up with. The candles flicker, the water glasses sweat, the dead whisper through smoke, ash, and dreams. So, very good, Red. So, I'm going to go ahead and read a poem to you. It's called Bóveda. And for those of you who aren't familiar with what a bóveda is, it's actually a concept that's pretty well known within Santeria circles. So a bóveda is an altar to the dead. Typically, one would have in their home, and what one typically will use a bóveda for is for multiple reasons. Generally, it's sort of like a spiritual center for the house where your departed loved ones or your ancestors basically can be communed with, appropriated or given offerings or just prayer. Really kind of offering one the opportunity to establish an ongoing connection with them. So even though the people we love, may leave us, in a way they never fully do, because even in their absence, we're able to still connect with them, commune and ask for help and receive blessings. Now, one of the core tenets of Santeria is that before you can ever receive a blessing from Orisha or from the deities in the religion, you have to have the blessings of your ancestors, which really just sort of like emphasizes the importance of maintaining a harmonious and synchronistic sort of like relationship with your ancestors, which is basically something that I've continued to do all these years. I have a bóveda in my house, and it's a spiritual practice I picked up, and it's one I'm not going to let go of anytime soon. So, which is one of the main reasons why I wrote the poem bóveda, because of the spiritual significance and importance that I find with that aspect of practice. So, Bóveda itself will go to kind of describes what a bóveda could look like, and also what its uses are for. So, bóveda. Candle flames speak in sparks and sputters, filling the air with chatter and the scent of dime store roses. 9 glasses, kissed by fresh rue leaf and cigar smoke, are filled with cool water, crowning the tabletop and sparkling on white linen to a playful dance of religion, shadows, and sacred fire. One by one, we place flowers reverently, like prayers into an old vase, invoking loved ones with showers of velvet and petal, paving their ways smoothly back to us, back home. Daisies for happiness, hyacinth for direction, lilies to never forget. Then we light the palo santo to disperse the shade, for devils inside and out, above and below. Carefully cracked plates of braised pork, fish head stew, and fried plantains are lined up on the floor between cups of beer, wine, and cool water, the largest one of rum with a lit cigar on top. 9 taps of the opaiku, stick of the dead, calls them to order, to us, and to their dumb supper. All within the confines of moons and suns, drawn on the floor with powdered eggshell, cascarilla, in the corner of my kitchen near the pantry door that sticks. Silently, we watch for messages, mensajes, that tell us the curtain's been crossed, and wait. Bubbles going up mean prayers rising to heaven. Bubbles going down, something evil's near. Hand on my shoulder, they're here. So that's Bóveda from Brujeria, released May 26th. So I'm going to sign off. Thanks for listening, and buy the book. Bye.